What does it mean to be the first female self-made billionaire in American history?
Please welcome Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, everybody.
She made the world we're now living in.
We're back with Martha Stewart on this edition of Larry King Live. We go to Nashville, Tennessee. Hello.
How did you get into this, for want of a better term, bag? Martha Stewart's shtick.
There is no celebrity chef like her.
You might want to make more than one kind of turkey. This is one of the most beautiful turkeys.
She was saying to women, homemaking can be a powerful thing.
Martha Stewart, she's a self-made billionaire.
There was ever the original influencer, it's Martha.
She became an aspirational force to millions of people.
Something that doesn't exist. Something that people need and want and don't have.
There's been so many kind of misrepresentations of me.
What's the biggest misconception?
Martha Stewart was indicted on criminal charges.
You miss the world of the stock exchange?
Well, I still do the market.
You dabble?
Yes.
Insider trading have catapulted the domestic darling into the media limelight.
Guilty. Either they worship you, or they say, that woman makes me crazy.
You bring out the most profound emotions in people. Martha, why do so many people hate you?
October 19th, 1999. The New York Stock Exchange is a frantic pit of suits. It is raw testosterone fueling a small city. It is a temple for aggressive, unadulterated greed. Then walks in a woman with a calm so absolute it feels like a threat. Martha Stewart is here to ring the opening bell. She is a classic American darling. She had been a domestic queen since the 70s. Her pinnacle was breaking billionaire status that morning. She was the first self-made American woman to do so in history. But the bigger the rise, the harder they fall.
The FBI arrested Sam Waxel at 6:30 this morning.
Did you commit insider trading?
Samuel Waxel learned on December 26th of last year, 2 days before the public announcement.
In 2001, a single phone call triggered a public execution. That call led to a charge of insider trading.
Surprised when I got a call from my law firm that I was being requested by the U.S. Attorney for an appearance to question my sale of Imclone.
Stewart is avoiding cameras, but that hasn't stopped the questions.
The Martha Stewart scandal has taken a big toll on her media company, down 86% from last year.
Every emerging new detail that seems to work against her is met with a rousing cheer in many quarters.
The press was absolutely after Martha, and Martha personally, not the company.
The guiltiest pleasure of all, watching Martha Stewart scurry into a courthouse under an umbrella.
There was a nastiness to people's attitudes to Martha.
It was the beginning of the end for the architect of homemaking.
The selling of stuff at Kmart, she actually has to start buying stuff.
Here's how lovely it was today. Martha Stewart was doing her insider trading outside.
With that,
If these two people had only done what parents have taught their children for eons,
why are they going after her?
even if you're in a tight spot, lying is not the way out.
Lying, lying, lying. It's about lying. Come on.
A lot of commentators said at the time that she was being made an example of.
By 2004, the jury delivered their verdict. The American darling was now an inmate in federal prison. Her stock plummeted. Her advertisers fled.
Personally, I'm sure.
$500 million?
No, probably more than $1 billion, of course. So.
More than $1 billion?
Yes, and
the world she built crashed and burned. She was a posh, aged-out celebrity reaching her expiration date. Then, out of the ashes, Martha Stewart did something ridiculous. She came back, not as a faded relic of a fallen empire. She came back from incarceration and stepped straight into pop culture.
Reaction, they asked you to be here just to be for us.
Cool. And my daughter said, okay, Mom, yeah, sure, go out and do Comedy Central. She said, have you ever watched a Comedy Central roast? And I said, well, I think so, Dad.
Martha, it's nice to see you interacting with black people for the first time since prison. That's really nice. Martha's so old, her first period was the Renaissance.
Never know that Snoop Dogg is 43 now, which is 3 times as long as actual dogs live, and twice as long as most of his friends.
She struck up an unlikely friendship with Snoop Dogg and got roasted by rappers on Comedy Central.
We just so happened to be sitting side by side, and my secondhand smoke, created an idea that maybe we should hang out and talk about some things.
She turned up at events that would have baffled her former self. She became the darling of Gen Z in her 80s. She was suddenly more human and more relatable than her goddess image.
They catapulted her into a younger audience who said, she's one of us.
At 81, she became the oldest Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model in history.
Introducing this year's cover model, Martha Stewart.
She's the oldest Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
100 billion impressions.
This was the comeback no one saw coming, obviously. Martha Stewart is not just another business icon. She is a powerhouse who built an empire, lost her throne, survived prison, and came back a champion. You want to understand the iron will of Martha Stewart? Start in Jersey City, 1941. Do not start with silver spoons or trust funds. Start with 6 children in a working-class Polish-American home. Precision was the only currency in that house. Martha Helen Kostira was born where thrift and order were the rules. Her father, Edward, was a pharmaceutical salesman. He was a demanding perfectionist who did not tolerate mistakes. You could say it was he who gave her discipline and drive. The real skills that she monetized, though, came from her mother. Cooking, sewing, and preserving were survival skills that became passions. Martha realized early her appearance was a high-value currency. In the late 1950s, she was modeling for Chanel and Unilever. She earned $15 an hour. That was an absolute fortune in the 50s.
And then I got married. I married Andy Stewart. So it was Martha Stewart Stewart.
On paper, she was the picture of sophisticated grace. In 1967, Martha Stewart made a move that absolutely baffled her peers. She became a stockbroker.
Certain places that you could really make an extraordinary amount of money. And the stock exchange was so anti-female, you couldn't be a clerk on the floor of the stock exchange if you were a woman.
She entered the male-dominated arena of Wall Street.
Some said she was a successful model, but she wants to get out of modeling. She was thinking about stocks. So I said, sure, I'd be happy to meet her.
She wasn't just learning to trade stocks. She was learning how power is traded in the dark.
Talking to her for an hour and a half, I said, this woman cannot miss, because she had every good quality you needed to have, and she was, friendly.
But in 1973, recession hit Wall Street and ended that chapter. The odds, she decided, were merely other people's problem.
I started to burn out because it was not an easy job. So I quit Wall Street and we moved to Westport, Connecticut, the furthest commuting town from New York.
Why'd you pick Westport?
Because we found the dream house.
She moved to a dilapidated farmhouse in Westport called Turkey Hill. Restoration was not a hobby. It was a prototype for a brand. She painted, hammered, and plastered every wall with her own hands. In 1976, she launched a catering business from her basement. The presentation was flawless. But the true cost surfaced early in her partnerships. She was hired to manage a gourmet store called the Market Basket. The owners forced her out after a disagreement. They thought they had fired a manager. They didn't realize they had created a lethal competitor. Martha immediately opened her own store right down the street. She positioned it to crush the people who had just dismissed her. She doesn't retreat, she attacks with a perfectly arranged fruit basket.
Martha knows how to create pleasure and excitement. She caters parties for such luminaries as Paul Newman, Beverly Sills.
We captured the attention of many, many people. It became $1 million business.
In 1982, her first book, Entertaining, was published. The industry thought it was just a cookbook for housewives. It was actually a manifesto for a global media empire. They underestimated the ambition behind the doily. She released a string of bestsellers like Weddings and Christmas. She became a regular on Oprah's couch, the ultimate stamp of trust. But professional success came with a heavy personal tax. The career was a monster that ate her relationship, and infidelity came knocking at her door.
He was not satisfied at home. I don't know how many different girlfriends he had during this time, but I think there were quite a few.
If your husband starts to cheat, get out, she tells young women on Oprah. Months later, in 1990, she divorced her own husband. But this became the source of great controversy. She revealed in a 2024 documentary that she was actually the first to cheat.
Didn't you have an affair early on in the relationship or when you were a stockbroker?
Yeah, but I don't think Andy ever knew about that.
He did say he knew about it.
He did?
Yes, you would confess to him.
Oh.
He says he didn't stray from the marriage until you told him you had already strayed.
Oh, that's not true. I don't think.
She had cheated on him way back in the early years of their relationship. She claims Andy never even knew. So even then, she was a woman in control and making her own choices. In 1993, she expanded into a daily television program. Then came the move that made the fashion world gasp. She partnered with Kmart. Critics called it a sellout to a discount retailer. Martha understood the math of the masses better than the critics. Her partnership brought luxury branding to everyone. In 1997, she bought full control of her company for $75 million. With an 80% ownership stake, Martha Stewart was no longer just the face of the brand. She had become the force behind it. Then came the IPO on October 19, 1999. Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia went public, and by the end of its first day of trading, the stock had doubled. In that moment, Martha Stewart became the first self-made female billionaire in American history. She seemed untouchable. Then came the mistake that nearly cost her everything. The fall started with a single phone call on December 27, 2001. Martha was aboard a private jet heading for a holiday. She received word that the CEO of Imclone was dumping his stock. Martha followed suit and sold 3,928 shares. The trade avoided a loss of only $45,673. For a billionaire, that is a rounding error. But for the federal government, it was a golden target. The media scrutiny was immediate, vicious, and relentless. Her reputation for perfection became her greatest liability. In March 2004, the jury delivered their verdict: guilty. She was not convicted of insider trading itself. She was convicted of conspiracy and obstruction of justice and sentenced to 5 months in federal prison. The Queen of Etiquette was now a convicted felon. But everyone had underestimated the unbreakable Martha Stewart. She was given janitorial duties in prison, including cleaning toilets. Yet she brought the same domestic pride from her home into the grey walls of prison. When Martha was released in March 2005, She walked out wearing a hand-knitted poncho gifted to her by a fellow inmate. The image landed instantly. This was still Martha Stewart, polished, composed, unmistakably herself, but now wrapped in something deeply humanizing. It was a strange way to start a comeback, yet her reputation began to be revived even while she was still under house arrest. Only 1 year later, despite no longer being CEO, the company she still owned majority shares in returned to profitability. Finally, Stewart had survived the hunt and was ready to move on. Her final moves have all been about cultural permanence. In 2008, Martha invited Snoop Dogg on her show.
Basically, exactly. That's
Now
what
I
it
feel
is.
so
Yeah.
I feel so much better because I felt like
Yeah.
so stupid.
They stood together over a bowl of mashed potatoes. The chemistry was uncanny. Martha was the straight man to Snoop's sly vocabulary. The world was confused, then captivated. Then came the 2015 roast of Justin Bieber. He was supposed to be the subject, but she became the star. She sat on that stage and dismantled the room. She delivered the line that cemented her legend for Gen Z. The Martha and Snoop was so positive that they partnered up. They launched a hit show in 2016 that redefined her image for a younger generation. By 2026, Martha Stewart had written more than 100 books and built a billion-dollar brand. She taught America how to bake a pie and, with a wink, how to make a shank out of a pintail cone. Martha's lesson clear: the world will not make room for you. You have to take it. Ultimately, Martha Stewart became an icon of strategic resilience, proof that a fall from grace is not the end of the story. Sometimes, it is where the legend begins.
Why do people love to hate her?
You always want to see little Miss Perfect fail.
You bring out the most profound emotions in people. Martha, why do so many people hate you? I've always been baffled by the degree of hatred that people have. I sometimes think it's because she does something that all of us theoretically could do. She just does it way better.
The way you spinning that sugar around them balls, Martha, that's nice.
When me and Martha got a chance to hang out, we discovered that we love the same things and we have the same beliefs in life. We love to love and we love to teach.
And
Big Easy Reach Lighter is perfect for lighting up.
All your celebrations.